Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Reality Hour. I am Adam Samuel. Today, we are at week 3 of American Idol auditions. Grace is on top of it, and we're here to discuss the auditions. Joining me is my co-host Eric. How you doing today, Eric?
I'm doing good, mostly because I already got my big rant out of the way on my own YouTube channel earlier this week.
And we also got Grace.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. How are we doing, Grace?
I'm doing okay, thanks. Short week at work, so I'm making it happen. And here to talk Idol, and next week we get 2 shows.
2 shows. So is there only 2 more weeks of auditions?
There's 1 more week.
I thought it was
Yay!
5. Oh, so this is it.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
There's 5
Looks like it's been
episodes, and there's
forever.
2 next week because The Bachelor is finally over, and I heard some stuff about it, but The Bachelor is to Reality Hour as Bruno is to the family on Encanto.
By the way, total tangent. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. There is a really big bug that I've just noticed about 3 feet away on my wall. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it throughout this podcast. Just pointing it out. But anyway, hopefully it doesn't move. We are here. 3 weeks, round 3. What did you guys think of the audition, the contestants? I guess those are kind of the same thing. But tell me.
Well, we know how Eric.
I'll go first. I think I found my favorite, and I also found why I have no hope for this show at the same time.
What about you, Grace?
Grace, your turn.
If we've seen the winner by now, I can't say I'm really that excited.
Yeah, kind of a disappointing crop so far. I mean, I have like 1 or 2 people that I kind of, but for the most part, I'm kind of indifferent to a lot of people. It's weird. This is why I keep going back to the season 11 slander that I'm hearing. That had like such a great crop of contestants. Like I was having trouble making a top 24. Here, I'm like indifferent to most of them.
Pretty damn easily this year.
A top 24.
Season 11, the auditions were absolutely painful to watch, but the live shows kind of.
I liked every aspect of that season.
The auditions were
didn't. Even Tyler was terrible, and you know it.
I was going to say the auditions were painful mostly because of the judges. It was not the contestants, and the wrong person won, but that's another story.
All right. Well, so if we have 2 more episodes, so 1 more week of auditions, thank God. After that, we have 1 week of Hollywood Week, I assume, 1 week of Green Mile. Do we have any updates to the kind of live show schedule?
Nope.
Do you have any predictions? Like how many weeks do we have after the kind of the 24-2016?
My guess is 5 weeks at best.
Okay, so probably
realized, though, not this coming Sunday, the one after are the Oscars. So is Idol on hiatus that week?
No, we're just 1 episode of Idol that week.
Probably Green Mile. All right, so
no, it's like we wrap auditions next week and then the Oscars are the following week.
We'll figure it out. Whatever it will be better than the Voices format, but not as good as Peak Idol format.
So
by the way, Idol is finally beating The Masked Singer in ratings.
Yes, and America's Got Talent Extreme crashed and burned, as I'm glad it did. Anyway.
Before we kind of leave this topic, can't even talk. So it's assumingly going to go 16, 12, so 12, 10, 8, 6, finale?
4, 6, 4.
Because that's 5.
But they usually do two live shows in the first week, so it's usually 6 live shows.
Okay, so then 12, 16,
10,
12, 10,
8,
6,
4, finale.
They're going to go into the finale with 4?
With 3.
Oh. I don't know. But, all right, so is there any news kind of in the headline sphere, any kind of big contestant news to discuss?
I'm looking at MJ. She apparently dropped the first 4 mentors.
Oh, who do we got? Is this spoilers?
MJ didn't drop it.
Well, somebody
Idol
did, but
dropped
that's
it
where
on
I
the
found
promo.
it.
It was in
But
a
it's going
promo.
to be, so the first 4 are going to be Ruben Studdard,
Okay.
the other David Cook, Jordan Sparks, who's one of my favorites, and Lauren Elena.
You can
Only
tell
one-
which one I'm happy about based on when I turned into for a second.
Grace, if you had to be mentored by one of these contestants, who's your go-to?
I would pick one of the 2 girls, but it's weird because Lauren's actually like the same age as me. And she's not a country singer, so I feel like if it were genre specific, I'd pick Jordan.
I would go with David Cook. He's a cool dude.
Yep. Anyway.
Is that it though for the kind of Idol headline stuff?
Yeah.
There's also a headline that the Trader said that apparently the American Song Contest, she thinks it's going to bring America together. No, it's not.
You know that's bullshit. You know that's bullshit. And
oh, by the way, that starts next week. Hey.
okay, whatever. I'm not as interested as I thought I'd be, but anywho.
I guess this is kind of Idol adjacent. Todrick Hall kind of posted something about Big Brother. But I'm the only one on this panel who would care about that. So
correct. Let's move on.
if only JoJo could have pulled it out. As Grace rolls her eyes. Do you want to talk really quickly about AGT Extreme?
I have no desire to talk about AGT Extreme.
Was it extreme
I know
enough?
who won, but that's about it.
What? But it was extreme, guys. What more do you want?
It was extremely bad. I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I can't say.
Oh my god! I was thinking like that's a joke that was like, I'm like, should I say that or Grace? Thank you for saying it, so I can make fun of you for saying it rather than having everyone else make fun of me for saying it. I much prefer that.
Do you think we will see Extreme 2.0?
God no.
What's next? We've gotten like AGT, and now we have like a spin-off every year. What's the next one? AGT singers only.
That's what I was hoping for. Then they can get rid of all the singers from the real show.
AGT only animal acts.
That's a possibility, but let's continue. Let's talk about Idol. Let's go to the part that people actually tune in for.
All right, well, let's get into the deep dive. So we are going to start things off with, I can tell, a performance that Grace actually pointed something out to me about, and I wholeheartedly agree with. It's Tristan Grissett performing Piano Man by Billy Joel for his first song, and Colors by Black Pumas for his second. But let's just, Grace, I'm going to throw this right to you because your point hit the nail on the head. Go for it.
I mean, he sang Piano Man, but he played guitar. Like the two.
It doesn't make sense.
Can you be the Piano Man if you're playing guitar?
Well, he's not. Well, he's singing a song to the Piano Man if you listen to the lyrics. So he's not technically the Piano Man.
My dad is a super obsessed Billy Joel fan. He has made it a point to watch Billy Joel Week the 2 times they've had it on the show, and it's kind of semi-autobiographical, but still, like, you're Piano Man and you're playing guitar. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
It's the best Billy Joel song in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree. I did not enjoy this contestant. I thought the performance was all over the place. This guy was very clearly freaking out, like throughout the entirety, like from the second he walked in. He was very good at kind of hiding. Like, look, I would not be calm in a situation like this either, but it just was way too much here. And I was kind of doing like this throughout it. Like he sang fine for the most part. It wasn't great, but I would have probably said no here, honestly.
I would have too, honestly. Like, I didn't like the Billy Joel song. I mean, he can sing, but it kind of felt like straight gimmick. Now, I have heard a lot of drunk people sing this song before, if you can call that singing. And it was kind of well, I mean, he's only 17, so he doesn't know anything about that. I did like the second song better, but I still would have said no. He
was my second favorite of the episode. Genuinely.
Well, to be fair, this wasn't exactly the strongest
It
episode.
wasn't a good episode, to be fair, yes. But I actually think he has got a great voice. And no idea what to do with it. But assuming we have actual mentors this year, which we actually are supposed to, I'm hoping that they can help him out and figure out what to do with his voice, because I actually really like the sound of it personally. But
Cookie might be good for him.
I really hope David Cook is his mentor. Yes, I think that could really work out well, hopefully. But
I just feel like every season we get, or almost every other season-ish, we get a rock contestant. It's like every single year, it's a guy with long hair, he plays guitar, there's a lot of movement, energy. But this was kind of like on the lower level of that archetype that we've seen on the show.
Oh, he's far from the best, but he's not my favorite of the episode and not my favorite of the season, but I think he could grow on me, possibly.
I don't know, man. I think he's like a poor man Casey James. You know what I mean?
Okay. Agree to disagree. Let's move on to who, if she's not your favorite of the episode, we're gonna have a fiery discussion, and I'm gonna have a button to press. Hayden Baker.
Yeah, by far the best audition of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close.
Like, not even close. And she did it with a Whitney Houston song, which is like, that's like an A, and then I give her a plus just for that, because somehow she managed to. Whenever I see a Whitney Houston song, a Mariah Carey or a Celine Dion performance, I always roll my eyes. Yeah, I'm like, this is.
Let's
okay,
be fair
here we
here,
go.
though. Let's be fair here, though. Those big divas, nobody cares about their up-tempo songs. Like Whitney Houston, her ballads are her bread and butter. This song does not have, this song is not as difficult to sing as her ballads. She did sing it well. I normally like girls like her. I wasn't 100% sold just yet. I did like her though, so I do hope she goes pretty far.
I disagree, Grace. I was 100% sold here. I think she's by far the standout here, and I think should she make it like to the top 24-ish, I think she's, assuming she can hold the momentum, I think she's gonna sail to top 5.
I think the only way she doesn't make the live shows is if she quits.
Yeah, and
but it's hard to say at that point.
The one thing is like, moving forward, I don't really know what kind of contestant she it's almost reminding me of Haley Reinhart, but like I kind of
much cleaner voice than Haley, though, much less brass.
Yes,
much
cleaner.
But definitely my favorite audition of the season so far. Great range, great tone, great all around. I just loved everything about this. And the thing I like best about it is that I'm excited to see more, which is very unusual from auditions this year, it seems.
Yeah, I definitely want to see what she's going to do.
Want to see more of her. I'm excited.
She's a plant, though, right?
Of course. But who gives a shit? Everyone's a plant at this point.
Yeah.
We have to get over the whole plant thing.
Do you remember when we used to make a joke like on AGT, like there was one contestant that was not a plant, and it was like,
and then like, oh my god, we want her to go far just because she actually sat in line and did the real thing. Yeah,
she was like the only one. Yeah, everyone else had been scouted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of want to see what she'll do with song choices moving forward, because I feel like, okay, let's now do this with something modern.
Yes, exactly.
I don't even. What's a good song here? Like maybe some Billie Eilish?
I was thinking maybe Tori Kelly.
That too.
But I'm already kind of low-key hoping that Kennedy from last week is her partner for the duets. But I know that's probably not going to happen. Although I did hear the platinum tickets. I was going to say, the platinum tickets I heard do get to choose their duet partners. Because last year, remember, the judges picked the pairings. So I think that would be like one of those like show-stopping duets to end the night with. But
I'm just imagining like Luke like just writing out names for people, like this person and that person. It's like something that would never happen.
You think Luke can write in English?
Wow. Wow, Eric. I didn't even. Just gonna let that sit there. Just give it a minute to breathe. Let everyone.
Normally Adam comes up with the episode titles.
I know. Oh, believe me, I said that knowing full well I was making it the episode title.
I was thinking like, well, you know what? There are no words. I'm just.
Dontrell Briggs.
Yeah, Dontrell Briggs. I think he was our oldest contestant.
He's
right?
still younger than me, which makes me
and
sad.
he's only a year younger than me.
We had a 28-year-old this episode, so he wasn't.
Oh.
The fact that I have a year left to audition for this show makes me feel ridiculously depressed.
Yeah, and this is the part like I thought he was good. He's doing For Your Glory by Tasha Cobbs and Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. I don't think he's gonna go far, but I thought he was solid. You know, like maybe a B.
I will say he's obviously good enough for Hollywood, and so I'm shocked that Katie said no. I just didn't get that at all. But
I think part of why Katie said no is because like he is a gospel singer, and the public doesn't normally latch onto his type, so he probably has little to no chance of winning. But like, dude can sing. He
can sing. He's, I mean, not my thing necessarily, but he can definitely sing. So I'm happy he made it first.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. As this episode goes on, I start progressively having less notes on the contestants.
I do as well, with one big exception.
Yeah. So next up, we have Abigail Brooks doing Vincent by Don Mclean. Was Don Mclean the guy who sang American Pie?
Yes.
Wow. I gotta be honest. Like I never heard any other music by him. It was always so.
I've heard this song.
I've never first time hearing it. Apparently, this girl's though. I'm gonna say the word I don't like saying. She's a TikToker. Is that the term? Like she's big on TikTok. Is this the thing?
A lot of these people are. TikTok is like the big thing now. It's what the kids are into. I know we're all old now, but like that's what the kids are into these days.
And yeah, everything about this kind of felt a little fake. I don't know about you. Like just the broom and we have a broom right here. Like do
they need a janitor in Hollywood? Like
yes, they do. Have you ever been to Hollywood? It's kind of a filthy city.
Is it grosser than?
A lot more janitors in Hollywood.
2 years old, so I have like no memory of it.
Is it grosser than New York City?
More janitors in Hollywood. Anyway,
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, Eric, tell me what you thought of this contestant.
Good voice, not right for Idol at all.
I thought she was okay. It's very
musical theater.
Broadway.
Yes.
Well, there you go. And those contestants never really do well in Idol. They either get put in that bracket or they get like put into the pageant bracket,
or
which is crazy to say about her.
Bracket, so.
What?
Or
what was that?
Into the cut before live shows can begin bracket.
Or put into the live shows and then cut first round. And unceremoniously ushered off stage by Ryan Seacrest going, all right, give him a hand. And then just they're never they're never talked about on the show again.
Sweep that away.
Unless you're Lauren Spencer Smith and blow up.
Oh, Eric, really? You didn't go there. What is with you today?
Eric is spitting fire today.
My best part is that Adam took like another 5 seconds to get that I made a pun. The delayed reaction was what made
That's my job, dude. You can't take that. This is what I have here on this podcast. This is what I offer. Do not take this from me. I will get every cat I can find to get you, Eric. The cats will come and they will make puns. This is my thing.
That and losing drafts ceremoniously badly.
You know what? I won the first one, and that matters a lot to me. So, in your faces.
Okay, let's move on.
Dakota Hayden.
Now I got to find another pun to kind of one up Eric here because
good luck.
We're gonna sweep his thing under the rug.
That's the same pun I just made.
Shush! Dakota Hayden. Yeah, this is like I said. This is the part of the episode where I'm like, don't have that much. He's He's okay. B-, honestly. He's our country boy, but I feel like we've probably already found our token country boy this season.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's long. I'm honestly surprised like he made it to this part of the show. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great, but in fairness, he's 17, so maybe he like needed some time. Like maybe he could like pull a Caleb and like come back next year, go on another show. I'm talking about Caleb Lee Hutchinson, by the way. Not last season's Caleb. We don't discuss him, but because like Caleb, when he was on the Caleb Lee Hutchinson, he went on The Voice in season 9, I think. Didn't even turn a chair because his audition was pretty rough. He was much better on Idols, still not all that great. So I think that might be his case. I definitely don't think he's ready for the show.
Okay.
Eric?
For the next 3 yeses, I just wrote the same thing. Period. Not my thing. Period.
Do you want to talk about Tania, or you want to jump right to Donovan?
One thing I do
not even Donovan, to Emily. I'm sorry.
Emily.
Yeah.
Okay, like before we move on though, real quick, a lot of people were really upset that Tania got cut. I
am too. I'm not upset. I'm surprised because usually like
no, it was the right decision. Nice to see Willie Spence on the show.
He was on your team, right?
Yeah, my team, my 4th.
You had the top. You had 2 of the top 3.
Yeah.
No, you had both of the top 2.
The top 2.
Not as good as when I had all 4 of the Dancing with the Stars finalists. That was glorious. But no, a lot of people were really upset that she got cut. I personally think it was the right thing to do. I think she could come back in a couple of years if the show's still on and like blow everybody out of the water. But I think right now she's just, she's got to continue to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Get some experience underneath her.
All right, let's talk about Emily. This is kind of another. She's solid. She's like completely inoffensive, just very good singer, but not anyone I could get excited to root for. She's good, and that's kind of all. Like the thing is, for me, a lot of these contestants, I'm just indifferent to. Like
yes.
they're fine. There's nothing wrong. I don't know if this is something like on the production with like the casting, because it is casting. I don't know. Just no one here really stood out to me.
Correct.
The whole funeral home thing kind of creeps me out a little bit. Mostly because, like, I don't know if I could ever do what she does for a living. I don't even like looking at dead people, so I can't imagine I would want to put makeup on them.
There's whole aspect like that.
This is a whole like blonde country girl crop, and I think Hunter Girl is the chosen blonde country girl this year. So
yes,
I don't think
every season you got a rocker, you got a country boy, you got the quirky smoky singer, you got the blonde country girl, you got the ringer, you got the heartthrob, you got I don't know,
several white guys with guitars.
Exactly. And anyone who doesn't fit usually gets kicked out very quickly. There's like certain archetypes that just Idol hates, and they just always get cut very quickly.
Yeah, like I was remembering like season 11 when everybody was complaining about there not being any black girls. There were like, I think there were like 3 country girls in the top 24 this year. Only one of them even made top 12 or top 13 or whatever it was. There were like, but like people were all upset. Like there were no black girls. Like if there were no white guys in the top 24, we'd all just be like, huh? So like, I don't understand it.
Idol's weird, man. It likes to put people in boxes. Like that's kind of the only way I can really say it.
And
like you're a rock singer, you're a country singer, you're a gospel singer, and you can't get out of it once you're put there. For the most part, the only people who I could think like kind of got out of it, David Cook, Philip, Candace.
No, but like I was thinking, well, this was Blake's doing, but like Cassidy Pope started off doing punk rock, and then Blake turned her country.
I love Cassidy Pope. There will be no slander here, Grace. Thank you very much.
I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, that's not an opinion, Adam. That's kind of a fact.
Shh, Eric. Shh. It's okay.
Let's go to Riley.
We're not going to have anyone here sweeping the bases with winning this draft this year. That's all I can say.
Okay. Riley.
No one heard my pun. I'm just going to move right on. Okay.
We heard it. We just already made it. Not anymore.
Stop it. All right. Mark Osborne, Stoned by Whiskey Myers. I didn't love this guy, but probably the second best contestant of the episode, if I'm being honest.
No.
I didn't like him either, but I feel like he's somebody that people could get behind.
Okay. No thoughts on him for me. Let's talk about Riley.
Riley Madison, country girl, doing Gabby Barrett. Yeah.
Does ABC Idol have anybody else to brag about?
Yes, they do.
Maddie's still great.
Maddie, Katie Turner blowing up.
Katie also.
Lauren Spencer Smith, although they can't really take credit for her because they threw her under the bus.
They took credit for Tori Kelly, Eric. They'll do whatever they want.
They'll take credit for Lauren Spencer Smith, and it won't be deserved credit, but they'll try. Anyway.
Not deserved for Tori Kelly either.
I didn't say it was.
But also, they were justified in cutting her, so that's a different story. Ish.
Okay.
Guys, I just noticed the bug is no longer where it was. Grace, I'm scared.
Anyway, for me, Riley, she sounded more like Janelle Arthur than Gabby Barrett. I don't think she'll last very long, but I could be wrong about that. Who knows?
Yeah, she's like a young Gabby Barrett. She's, like I said, like a bunch of other contestants this episode. She's inoffensive and fine, but that's kind of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Should we move on?
Let's move on because I don't want to get political today.
We got Sam Finnelli. He's doing Rainbow by Casey Musgraves, and I'm going to throw this to Eric.
Thank you. Good answer.
All right.
So I was literally yelling at my screen watching this audition. Like genuinely yelling at my screen. Like I haven't. This might have been worse than what I did to Cody Lee. Genuinely, it was up there. Maybe not quite as bad as Cody, but okay.
I didn't think it was very bad.
It was the worst one since Cody Lee, at least, easily. So Sam, 28 years old, on the autism spectrum, like I am.
And me.
Cool. And literally has his mom speaking for him, which bugs me. That's the first thing that bugs me. Then the sappy music in the introduction, and
we do that to everyone.
They do, but I mean, a lot of it's done to everyone. Like the judges overhyping him was done to everyone, but that's whatever. But then Lionel literally has the line of the century, when he says, "You were born enough. Your handicap is your gift." Now, I don't know if you've ever spoken to someone with a disability in the past 2 decades, Lionel, but no one with a disability actually uses the word handicap anymore. Literally, the line was so bad that my boss at work saw it in a commercial and brought it up to me, and she didn't know it was Idol. So I just assumed it was America's Got Talent because I just assumed America's Got Talent would be the show that would say something that have the judge say something that terrible, but nope, it was Idol. So this was genuinely awful. But I will say about Sam himself, got a nice voice. Parts were definitely off, but yes, he deserved to make it through. But God, the way the judges talked to him, they're like, "Oh, you're so great for just showing up and knowing how to wipe yourself and dress yourself and walk on this stage and sing." And it's like, it was so patronizing. And I could rant for an hour about this, but I'm not going to because I already ranted about this on Monday and uploaded a video that I'm going to put in the links in the description that you can watch where I talked about this in a more concise, edited down way.
Yeah, I was just watching this kind of cringing, just,
Good.
It felt like in America's Got Talent episode.
Yes, it did.
And I did not. It just felt really. It's so weird because Idol is trying so hard. Like in their eyes, like they did good. Like this is something good, and it's like they've done a whole 180. Like by trying so hard to do this right, they actually did the exact opposite.
I'm gonna guarantee you they did not try to do this right, and I can guarantee you that because if they had a single person on the spectrum who they talked to about this, they wouldn't have done it this way. They would have. So doing it right, as far as I'm concerned, means talking to people with disabilities about how they should be represented. And they clearly didn't, because if they did, they would have avoided like half of these mistakes at least. So
yeah, I'm kind of now having flashbacks to when Lazaro auditioned, and it was like kind of the same treatment. Like they treated him like a toddler.
I'm sure.
But the difference
and he made
is
top 6.
Well, he made it top 6 because of that. It was not because of his talent. And that's like another thing is people making it like that's one thing that I'm kind of afraid of. And I hate to say it because I've been called an asshole several times for saying this about Niall DeMarco, saying that if he were here and he wouldn't have won Dancing with the Stars, which I stand by. But like people oftentimes like a lot of times it works out because people forget the story eventually. But like some of these stories like we can't forget about. And I don't want to see him make it through with mediocre performances or if he doesn't deserve to go as far as he does based on a story. I would rather him stay because of his talent, but we all know that's probably not going to happen.
Well, in a minute, we're going to get into spoiler corner because I think we have to address what Grace just said because, you know what? Screw it. I'm saying spoilers now.
Wait, let's do the spoiler cut now.
What did I do?
Go right ahead, Eric. Okay.
So the spoiler is you have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler is he does not make top 24. And what that means is that this was 100% just to get views for the audition. We're not actually going to push him. We're not actually going to help him. So, you know, it's just what it is. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Literally, the only thing about it that surprised me was Lionel's line. Honestly, I'm like, wow, that was so bad that even shocked me. Oh God, it was so bad. And I will say, one of the other things that's bugged me since then, that I'm just gonna rant about now, is how like none of the other recap shows or anyone who wrote about it knew how blatantly bad it was. Everyone was just so touching. I cried. It was so great that he got to go up on the stage and sing. And I don't like calling people out, but like a lot of the Idol recappers that I really respect kind of pissed me off with this one. And so I'm just, you know, more education is clearly needed, is what I'll say. That's where I'll leave it.
Since we're here, can we talk about any other top 24 spoilers?
That's the only one I had written down, but if you want to talk about any others, you can.
I mean, basically the only 2 people who make it through this episode, Cadence and Tristan. So just let that lull yourselves off to sleep this tonight. I don't know. I have nothing to say there.
That's not surprising.
Cadence is good, and I think the only real takeaway here, and yeah, that's kind of all I got for this episode. Just kind of.
We could have stopped watching 15 minutes in, and we would have all been much happier.
That's true.
It's the big takeaway.
Well, do you guys have any other thoughts on the episode, the week ahead? Anything left to kind of touch on?
Nope.
Well, then I will say I am Adam Samuel. You can find me on Twitter at Adam Soapbox. And you could also find me hiding because I don't know where that bug is. All right. What about you, Eric?
You can find me being hypocritical and making fun of Adam, cringing at Adam's puns while making the for worst ones myself. And you can find me on Twitter at this handle. And you can find my video where I actually did a play-by-play of everything they got wrong with that last audition on YouTube at the link in the description.
And Grace.
You can find me on Twitter at reality2_Grace. You can also find me somewhere celebrating St. Patrick's Day the way that only this Irish girl can. And you're lucky we didn't do it tonight because I'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah, it's also Purim, so if anyone watching this, happy Purim. And yeah, next week is
the last
end of auditions.
I hope.
And American Song Contest, for those of you who are watching, starts on Monday. And
are you guys watching?
I don't know which one I'm going to watch or live tweet if they're on at the same time, which they probably are.
I'm watching Idol, but I will watch the recap of 8.
Are you guys watching any?
I'll watch Idol and live tweet it, and I'll watch and live tweet the American Song Contest.
Well, I'm not watching Idol. I'm not watching Idol live. I haven't watched, and I'm not watching any of the episodes live until the finale, pretty much.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you then. Peace.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Good night.